Welcome back to the channel, Rarest Coins Coin Enthusiasts. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most intriguing and valuable coins in the world of numismatics, the 1967 Lincoln penny. While most of us think of pennies as being worth just a cent, there's something very special about the 1967 Lincoln penny, and it could be worth a lot more than you'd expect. Stick with me as we explore the fascinating history of this coin and its potential to be worth up to $1.4 million. Yes, you heard that right, the $1.4 million. Let's get started. History of the Lincoln penny. Before we dive into the details of the 1967 penny's value, let's take a quick look at its history. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin featured Lincoln's portrait on the obverse, with an image of two stalks of wheat on the reverse. This design became known as the wheat cent, and it remained the design until 1958. In 1959, to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the U.S. Mint replaced the wheat reverse with the new designate, the Lincoln Memorial. This design was used on the Lincoln penny from 1959 until 2008, when it was replaced with the shield design we recognize today. The 1967 penny, like many others produced in that era, carried the Lincoln Memorial reverse design. It was a time when the U.S. Mint was still producing millions of pennies to meet the demand for circulating coins. But even among these common pennies, there are certain rare ones, like the 1967 Lincoln penny, that can hold significant value, especially if they have certain errors. The 1967 Lincoln penny and its value. So why are we talking about the 1967 Lincoln penny in particular? What makes this coin stand out from the hundreds of millions of pennies that were minted in the 1960s? The answer lies in a rare error that occurred during the minting process. Most of the 1967 pennies are worth just a few cents today, but if you have one of the rare varieties, it could be worth thousands or even millions of dollars. The value comes from certain errors that occurred at the U.S. Mint, and these coins have become some of the most sought-after collectibles among coin enthusiasts. One of the most notable varieties of the 1967 Lincoln penny is known as the double die error. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin malfunctions and strikes the same coin twice, resulting in a doubling effect on the coin's design. The result is that the letters, numbers, and other details of the coin are doubled or slightly offset. This is most commonly seen in the inscription "Liberty" and the motto "In God We Trust." If you happen to have a 1967 Lincoln penny with this double die error, you may be in possession of a coin worth significantly more than its face value. The double die error and its impact. The double die error occurs when the die used to stamp the image onto the coin is misaligned, causing the image to be struck twice, which gives the appearance of a double design. In the case of the 1967 Lincoln penny, this error can be most visible in the word "Liberty" and the motto "In God We Trust." The doubling can be subtle, but if you know what to look for, it's easy to spot. Now, let's get to the exciting part of the value. Coins with double die errors can sometimes fetch a hefty price at auction, and the 1967 double die Lincoln penny is no exception. In fact, some of these rare coins have been sold for amounts as high as $1.4 million. That's right, a $1.4 million for a coin that, in most cases, would only be worth 1 cent. The rarity of these double die pennies and the demand among collectors is what drives their astronomical value. How to identify a 1967 double die penny? So, how can you tell if you have a 1967 Lincoln penny with the double die error? It's all about carefully examining the details of the coin. Start by looking at the word "Liberty" on the obverse, particularly the last few letters. If you see a faint second image of the letters, you may have a double die error. The same goes for the motto "In God We Trust." If the lettering looks like it's been struck twice, there's a good chance you've found a rare coin. You'll want to inspect the coin under a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to get a closer look at the details. The doubling should be noticeable on the edges of the letters, and the overall effect will give the impression that the coin has two sets of designs, one slightly off from the other. It's important to note that the condition of the coin also plays a huge role in its value. A 1967 double-die penny in mint condition will obviously be worth far more than one that's worn or damaged. Coins that are in excellent condition, with no significant wear or damage, are considered the most valuable, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for these rare specimens. Other rare 1967 pennies. While the double-die penny is the most famous and valuable of the 1967 Lincoln pennies, there are other rare varieties of this coin that are worth more than their face value. For example, some 1967 pennies were struck off-center, meaning the coin wasn't properly aligned when it was stamped. This can result in a misalignment of the design, creating a unique look that is highly sought after by collectors. Off-center strikes can sometimes be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on their rarity and condition. In addition to the double-die and off-center varieties, other types of errors such as coins with die cracks, or coins that were struck with a worn die can also increase the value of the 1967 penny. While these errors might not be as dramatic as the doubled die, they still add a layer of uniqueness and rarity to the coin, which collectors are willing to pay a premium for. Where to sell a valuable 1967 penny? If you think you've found a 1967 Lincoln penny with a valuable error, the next question is, where can you sell it? There are a few places where you can sell your coin to get the best value. One option is to visit a local coin dealer. Coin dealers are experts in the field and can help you authenticate your coin, as well as provide a fair market value. Be sure to take your coin to a reputable dealer, as there are many counterfeit coins in circulation. If you're not near a local dealer or want to explore a broader audience, you can also sell your coin online. Websites like eBay and other online auction platforms allow you to list your rare coin for sale and connect with buyers from around the world. Just make sure to have your coin authenticated by a professional, as this will help ensure you get top dollar for it. Conclusion. To wrap up, the 1967 Lincoln penny may seem like just another coin in your pocket change, but it has the potential to be worth a lot more than its face value. Whether it's the rare double-die error or another unique minting mistake, some of these pennies can fetch incredible amounts of money, up to $1.4 million, in some cases. So, next time you're going through your change, take a closer look at your 1967 pennies. Who knows? You might just find a hidden treasure. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more exciting coin-related content. Happy hunting, and I'll see you in the next video. This script covers the history, value, and identification process of the 1967 Lincoln penny, highlighting its potential worth and helping viewers understand how they can spot and authenticate this rare coin. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Rarest Coins. Today, we're going to explore a fascinating coin that you might not think is worth much at first glance, the 1965 Lincoln penny. While pennies are usually seen as just small change, the 1965 Lincoln penny holds a special place in the world of coin collecting, and some of these coins can be worth far more than just 1 cent. In fact, certain 1965 Lincoln pennies have been known to fetch incredible prices, up to $1.6 million. Stick around as we explore the history of the 1965 Lincoln penny, why it's worth so much money, and how you can identify one of these rare and valuable coins. History of the Lincoln penny. Let's start by taking a step back and discussing the history of the Lincoln penny. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner, the penny featured a portrait of Lincoln on the obverse and 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse, a design that became known as the wheat cent. This wheat cent design remained in use until 1958, when it was replaced by the famous Lincoln Memorial reverse design. The new reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, was introduced in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The Lincoln Memorial design continued to be used on pennies for decades, including on the 1965 Lincoln penny, which is the subject of our video today. Why the 1965 penny is unique. Now, you might be wondering, what makes the 1965 Lincoln penny so special? After all, Millions of pennies were produced that year, so why is this particular coin worth so much? The answer lies in a combination of historical events and rare minting errors that occurred in 1965. First, it's important to understand that 1965 was a year of significant change for U.S. coinage. Due to rising costs of copper, the U.S. Mint made a decision to change the composition of certain coins. For the first time in American history, the 1965 penny was made of a copper-nickel alloy rather than the traditional copper that had been used for many years. This change marked the beginning of a new era for U.S. coins, but it also created some unique conditions that led to a number of rare and valuable errors. The minting error that makes the 1965 penny so valuable. One of the key reasons why the 1965 Lincoln penny is so valuable is because of a rare minting error that occurred during production. This error is known as the double die error, and it makes certain 1965 pennies highly sought after by collectors. A double die error happens when a coin die at a metal stamp used to create the design on the coin name malfunctions during the minting process. As a result, the design on the coin becomes doubled or slightly misaligned, creating a coin with multiple images of the same design. In the case of the 1965 Lincoln penny, this error often shows up in the lettering on the coin, especially in the words Liberty and In God We Trust on the obverse side. This double die error is quite rare and can increase the value of the 1965 penny significantly. Some of these rare double die 1965 pennies have sold for incredible amounts, with prices reaching up to $1.6 million in certain cases. The rarity of the error and the fact that so few of these coins are in circulation makes them incredibly valuable to collectors. How to identify a 1965 double die penny? So, how can you tell if you have a 1965 Lincoln penny with the double die error? It's all about carefully inspecting the coin. Here are a few tips to help you identify this valuable error. Examine the word Liberty. One of the most common areas where doubling can be seen is in the word Liberty. If you notice that the letters are doubled or appear to have a shadow image, you could have a double die penny. Inspect the motto In God We Trust. The doubling is also often visible in the motto In God We Trust. Look for any signs of the letters being doubled, with one set of letters slightly offset from the other. Look for other signs of doubling, while the lettering is the most common area where doubling occurs. Also check the date and other elements of the coin's design. If you see a second set of outlines or a shadow effect, that's another indication that you've found a double die error. Use magnification. The doubling effect can be quite subtle, so it's a good idea to use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to closely inspect the coin. A closer look will help you spot the error more easily. Remember, the more prominent the doubling, the more valuable the coin. Coins in excellent condition, with minimal wear and clear doubling, will be worth significantly more than those with only slight or faint errors. What other rare varieties of the 1965 penny are out there? While the double die error is the most famous and valuable variety of the 1965 Lincoln penny, it's not the only rare version out there. Some 1965 pennies were struck with off-center errors, meaning the coin wasn't properly aligned when it was struck. This results in a coin that appears to have a portion of the design missing or misaligned. These off-center pennies can be worth several hundred to thousands of dollars, depending on their size and condition. There are also 1965 pennies with other types of minting defects, such as die cracks or overpolished dies, which can make them interesting to collectors. While these may not fetch the same high prices as the double die variety, they're still valuable and highly collectible. How much is your 1965 penny worth? Now that you know about the possible errors and rare varieties of the 1965 Lincoln penny, you might be wondering just how much your 1965 pennies are worth. Most of the pennies from 1965 are worth only their face value, especially if they have no errors or unique characteristics. However, if you have one of the rare 1965 pennies with a doubled die or another minting error, the value can skyrocket. The value of a 1965 double die penny can vary greatly depending on its condition, the prominence of the error, and the demand from collectors. While some of these coins are worth only a few $100s, others have been sold as auction for as much as $1.6 million, particularly those in near mint or mint condition. Where to sell your 1965 penny? If you think you have a valuable 1965 penny with the rare error, the next step is to get it authenticated and graded. Professional coin grading services like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, can evaluate your coin and assign it a grade based on its condition. This authentication process will help you determine its true value and ensure that you can sell it for the highest possible price. Once your coin is authenticated, you have a few options for selling it. You can approach local coin dealers who specialize in rare and valuable coins. Alternatively, online auction platforms like eBay provide a global marketplace where collectors from all over the world can bid on your rare coin. If your coin is worth millions, you may even want to consider selling it through a major coin auction house, where it could fetch an impressive price. Conclusion. In conclusion, the 1965 Lincoln penny is a perfect example of how an ordinary coin can become extraordinary due to rare minting errors. Whether it's the famous double die error or another type of defect, certain 1965 pennies are worth far more than just 1 cent. Some of these rare coins have sold for prices as high as $1.6 million, making them a potential gold mine for coin collectors. So, next time you're sorting through your change, take a close look at your 1965 pennies. With a bit of luck and careful inspection, you might just find a rare gem that could make you a lot of money. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss any of our future videos. Happy hunting, and I'll see you in the next one. This script provides an engaging and informative breakdown of the 1965 Lincoln penny, its history, and why certain varieties are worth a small fortune. It should make for a captivating YouTube video that educates your audience while keeping them interested in the potential value of their coins. Welcome back to the channel, Rarest Coins. If you're into rare coins or just a fan of US history, then today's video is something you won't want to miss. We're talking about the 2060 Lincoln penny, a seemingly ordinary coin that could actually be worth a lot more than its face value, potentially up to $1.2 million. Yes, you heard that right. A 2006 penny worth that much. So, stick around as we dive into the history of this penny, why it's valuable, and how you can identify if you've found one of these rare, highly sought-after coins. History of the Lincoln penny. First, let's take a step back and talk a little bit about the history of the Lincoln penny. The Lincoln cent has been in circulation since 1909, when it was first introduced to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. The original design featured a portrait of Lincoln by sculptor Victor David Brenner and 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse, which would later be known as the wheat cent. This wheat design lasted until 1958, when the U.S. Mint introduced a new reverse design to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The new reverse design featured the Lincoln Memorial, created by designer Frank Gasparro. This version of the penny, known as the Lincoln Memorial cent, was used on pennies for decades, including the 2060 Lincoln penny. The 2006 penny. A brief overview. The 2060 Lincoln penny is part of a series of Lincoln Memorial pennies that were produced from 1959 up until 2008. The D Mint mark indicates that this particular penny was struck at the Denver Mint. So, if you have a 2006 penny with the D Mint mark, it means it was produced at the Denver facility, which is one of the U.S. Mint's main production locations. But why is the 2060 Lincoln penny worth more than just 1 cent? To answer that, we need to explore some of the rare minting errors and unique features that set certain 2006 pennies apart from others. Why the 2006 penny is so valuable. The 2006 penny may look like just another regular coin at first glance, but certain errors in the minting process have made some of these coins extremely valuable. The key to their worth lies in one specific and rare error: the double die error. A double die error occurs when the coin's design is struck multiple times, creating an effect where the design appears to be doubled or slightly misaligned. This can happen if the coin dies and the metal stamps used to create the coin's design are not properly aligned during the minting process. For the 2006 penny, the most common place you'll see this doubling effect is in the word Liberty and the motto "In God We Trust" on the obverse of the coin. The letters may appear to be doubled, creating a shadow or ghosted image next to the main design. If you look closely, you'll notice that the design seems a bit off-center, with one set of letters or numbers slightly overlapping or offset from the other. This is the telltale sign of a double die error. Now, because this error is relatively rare, it has made some 2006 pennies worth far more than their face value, depending on the condition of the coin and the severity of the error. Some 2006 double die pennies have been known to sell for extraordinary amounts, say up to $1.2 million in certain cases. How to identify a 2006 double die penny? You might be wondering, how can I tell if I have a 2006 penny with this rare double die error? Don't worry, I'm here to help you out with some simple steps to identify this valuable coin. Check the word Liberty. The most obvious place to look for the doubling effect is in the word Liberty. If you notice that the letters seem to be doubled, with one set of letters slightly offset from the other, then you might have a double die error on your hands. This doubling effect can appear as a faint shadow next to the original letters, or it could be more pronounced, depending on the severity of the error. Look at the motto "In God We Trust." Another area where doubling can appear is in the motto "In God We Trust." Look carefully for any signs of the letters being doubled, or if they seem to be slightly shifted, overlapping, or off-center. This is a strong indication that you have found a valuable 2006 penny. Inspect the date. You should also check the date on the coin. In some cases, the year 2006 can also show signs of doubling. Look closely at the numbers in the year and see if there's any kind of offset or double impression. Use magnification. The doubling effect can be subtle, so using a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe will really help you spot the error. Get a closer look at the lettering and numbers to make sure you can see the double image clearly. Check the overall condition. The condition of the coin also plays a major role in its value. Coins in excellent condition, with little to no wear and visible doubling, are much more valuable than coins that have been heavily circulated or show signs of damage. If your 2006 penny looks crisp, with sharp details and no major damage, it could fetch a much higher price at auction. What makes a 2006 penny worth $1.2 million? So, how can a 2006 Lincoln penny be worth as much as $1.2 million? Well, that comes down to the rarity and the condition of the coin. Most 2006 pennies are worth only their face value of 1 cent. However, only a small number of these coins were struck with the double die error, and even fewer have survived in excellent condition. The most valuable 2006 pennies are the ones with a strong doubling effect, especially if the doubling is clearly visible on the words Liberty and In God We Trust. These rare coins are highly sought after by collectors who specialize in errors, and the auction market for such coins is incredibly competitive. If you happen to own a 2006 penny in mint condition with a prominent double die error, you could be sitting on a fortune. The $1.2 million price tag comes from one such penny that was auctioned for that amount due to its rarity, condition, and the intensity of the double die error. While not every 2006 double die penny will reach that kind of value, the most valuable examples can easily fetch tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. What else can affect a penny's value? While the double die error is the most well-known reason why a 2006 penny might be worth a lot of money, there are other factors that can affect its value. For instance, some 2006 pennies may feature other types of minting defects, such as off-center strikes, die cracks, or other irregularities. These types of errors are less common than the double die, but they can still make a penny much more valuable than a typical, everyday coin. Coins with higher grades A, meaning they're in better condition with fewer signs of wear, will also command higher prices. A coin that is graded as MS67 or higher, mint state, 67 or higher, will be much more valuable than one that's been circulated and shows significant wear. How to sell your 2006 penny? If you've discovered that you have a rare 2006 Lincoln penny with a double die error, you might be wondering how to sell it and get the best price. First, it's important to have the coin professionally graded and authenticated by a reputable grading service, such as the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. They will assess the coin's condition, grade it, and issue a certification that will help you sell it at the best possible price. Once your coin is graded, you can sell it in several ways. You can take it to a local coin dealer, sell it on online auction sites like eBay, or even list it through specialized auction houses that deal in rare and valuable coins. Auction houses often handle high-value coins and can help you get the best exposure and price for your 2006 penny. In conclusion, while the 2060 Lincoln penny may seem like an ordinary coin, it's actually a prime example of how certain minting errors can make a coin worth far more than its face value. If you happen to find a 2006 penny with a double die error, it could potentially be worth as much as $1.2 million. So, make sure to check your change carefully, and you never know what rare and valuable treasures you might be holding. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on more coin tips and information. Have you ever found a rare coin in your collection? Let us know in the comments below. Happy coin hunting, and I'll see you in the next video. This script provides an in-depth and engaging look at the 2060 Lincoln penny, explaining its history, the rare minting error that makes it valuable, and how collectors can identify and potentially profit from it. It's tailored to be informative and captivating for your YouTube audience. Welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. Today, we're diving into a very interesting and potentially lucrative topic: the 1968 Lincoln penny. When you think of pennies, you probably don't expect them to be worth much more than their 1-cent value. However, certain 1968 Lincoln pennies have been sold for astronomical amounts, up to $1.5 million. You heard that right, $1.5 million. Stick around as we uncover the history of the 1968 Lincoln penny, explain why it's so valuable, and show you how to identify whether you have one of these rare coins. History of the Lincoln penny. Before we get onto why the 1968 Lincoln penny could be worth a lot of money, let's first take a look at the history of the Lincoln penny itself. The Lincoln cent, introduced in 1909, is one of the most iconic coins in American history. The coin was designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner to honor President Abraham Lincoln on the 100th anniversary of his birth. The original design featured a bust of Lincoln on the obverse and 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse, a design that would later be known as the wheat cent. In 1959, the reverse of the Lincoln penny was redesigned to feature the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. This change marked the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth and created a lasting symbol of American history. This design remained in use until 2008, and it's the same design we see on the 1968 Lincoln penny. But what makes the 1968 version so special? In order to answer that, we need to look at the coin's composition and some key errors that make it stand out from the crowd. The 1968 Lincoln penny, a period of change. 1968 was a year of significant change for U.S. coins. The U.S. Mint had begun to move away from using copper in many coins due to rising copper prices. As a result, some pennies from this year were struck with a new metal composition. The 1968 penny was made of a copper-coated zinc plankette, which was a significant shift from the older, all-copper pennies that had been in use for many years. However, it's not just the change in composition that makes the 1968 Lincoln penny interesting. A variety of minting errors and rare features have made certain examples of this coin extremely valuable. The 1968 double die error, a rare treasure. The key reason why the 1968 Lincoln penny can be worth so much is due to a minting error known as the double die error. A double die error occurs when a coin die at the metal stamp used to create the coin's design is misaligned during the minting process. This results in a coin with a design that appears doubled, usually in the lettering or certain areas of the image. For the 1968 penny, this error most commonly appears in the lettering of the coin, especially in the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" on the obverse side of the coin. In a properly struck coin, the letters appear clear and well defined, But in a double die coin, you will notice that the letters are doubled, often with one set of letters slightly offset from the other. This doubling can be quite subtle, so it's important to examine the coin closely under magnification. The 1968 double die error is quite rare, which makes these coins highly sought after by collectors. Some of these double die 1968 pennies have sold for as much as $1.5 million, depending on the severity of the doubling and the overall condition of the coin. How to identify a 1968 double die penny. If you think you might have a 1968 Lincoln penny with the double die error, how do you identify it? Here are a few tips to help you spot this rare and valuable error. Examine the word Liberty. The most common place where doubling appears is in the word Liberty. If you notice that the letters are doubled, with one set of letters slightly offset or shadowed, you could have a double die penny. Check the motto "In God We Trust." Another area where doubling can occur is in the motto "In God We Trust." Look closely for any signs of the letters being doubled or appearing to be stacked on top of each other. Look for other doubling. While the lettering is the most common area for the double die error to show up, it can also appear in the date or other parts of the coin. If you spot any double outlines or shadows in the design, that's a good indicator that you may have found a double die penny. Use magnification. The doubling effect can be very subtle, so using a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe can be really helpful when inspecting the coin. This will allow you to see the error more clearly and help you determine if the coin is worth more than face value. Remember, the more prominent the doubling, the more valuable the coin is likely to be. A 1968 penny with noticeable doubling, especially in key areas like Liberty and In God We Trust, can be worth a small fortune. What else can make a 1968 penny valuable? While the double die error is the most well-known and valuable version of the 1968 Lincoln penny, there are other rare varieties that may also be worth more than just their 1-cent face value. Some 1968 pennies may have been struck with off-center errors, where the coin's design is misaligned. These errors can create coins with portions of the design missing or shifted to the side, making them unique and collectible. There are also 1968 pennies that may show signs of other minting defects, such as die cracks or other types of irregularities. While these coins may not command the same high prices as those with the double die error, they can still be valuable to the right collector. How much is a 1968 Lincoln penny worth? So, how much can a 1968 Lincoln penny be worth? It really depends on the coin's condition, rarity, and whether it contains a minting error. Most 1968 pennies are only worth their face value, but if you have one with a double die error, you could be holding onto a coin worth thousands, if not millions, of dollars. The value of a 1968 double die penny depends on the severity of the error, the condition of the coin, and the demand from collectors. Coins in pristine or near mint condition are the most valuable, and these can fetch prices ranging from a few $1,000s to over $1.5 million at auction. If you suspect that you've found a valuable 1968 Lincoln penny, it's a good idea to have it professionally graded and authenticated. A reputable grading service, like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or a professional coin grading service, PCGS, can assess the condition of your coin and provide a grade. This will help you determine its true value and ensure you can sell it for the best price possible. Where to sell your valuable 1968 penny? Once your 1968 penny has been authenticated and graded, it's time to think about selling it. There are several options available to you if you decide to part with your rare coin. Local coin dealers. You can approach coin dealers who specialize in rare coins. They will be able to offer you an appraisal based on the coin's grade and condition. Online marketplaces. Platforms like eBay provide a global marketplace where collectors can bid on your coin. Make sure to take clear, high-quality photos and provide a detailed description of the coin to attract serious buyers. Auction houses. If your 1968 penny is worth a significant amount, you may want to consider selling it through a major coin auction house. Auction houses specialize in high-valued coins and can help you secure the best possible price. Conclusion. In conclusion, the 1968 Lincoln penny is an excellent example of how a simple, everyday coin can be worth a small fortune. While most 1968 pennies are worth just 1 cent, certain examples, especially those with the rare double die error, can be worth up to $1.5 million or more. If you have a 1968 penny, it's definitely worth inspecting it carefully, and you might just have a hidden treasure on your hands. Thank you for tuning into today's video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future coin-related content. Have you found any rare coins in your collection? Let us know in the comments below. And, as always, happy coin hunting! This script is designed to inform and engage your audience with detailed insights into the 1968 Lincoln penny, its historical significance, and its potential value. It provides the information in a clear, easy-to-understand format, ideal for a YouTube audience. Welcome back to the channel, coin collectors and enthusiasts. Today, we're going to talk about a coin that many might overlook when sorting through their pocket change at the 2006 Lincoln penny. You might be surprised to hear that this seemingly ordinary penny could be worth a lot more than its 1 cent value. In fact, certain 2006 Lincoln pennies have been known to sell for staggering amounts, say up to $1.1 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, stick around as we dive into the fascinating history of the 2006 Lincoln penny and explore why some of them could be worth a small fortune. History of the Lincoln penny. Before we dive into the specific value of the 2006 Lincoln penny, let's take a quick look at the history behind the Lincoln penny as a whole. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the penny featured a bust of Lincoln on the front, with the reverse initially displaying 2 wheat stalks, which became known as the wheat cent. In 1959, the design was updated to feature the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, marking the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The memorial design continued on the penny until 2008. However, it's the 2006 Lincoln penny that stands out due to a series of unique and rare events that make it especially valuable. The 2006 Lincoln penny, a key year for collectors. The 2006 Lincoln penny is significant for a number of reasons. First, it marked the final year of the Lincoln Memorial reverse design, which had been in place since 1959. In 2006, the U.S. Mint also produced a series of special pennies in honor of the upcoming redesign of the reverse, which would be introduced in 2009. But even though most 2006 pennies are not rare or particularly valuable, a few unique circumstances made this year stand out in the world of coin collecting. The year 2006 was also marked by a number of errors that occurred during the minting process. These errors have made some 2006 pennies incredibly valuable to collectors who are willing to pay big money for these rare finds. One of the key reasons why some of the 2006 pennies have become worth as much as $1.1 million is due to a particularly rare minting error known as the double die error. The 2006 double die error worth a fortune. So, what exactly is a double die error, and why does it make the 2006 Lincoln penny so valuable? A double die occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned, resulting in a doubling of the image on the coin. This can cause parts of the design to appear twice, especially the text on the coin. The most common area where doubling is visible is in the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" on the obverse of the coin. In the case of the 2006 Lincoln penny, some of these coins were struck with the misaligned die, creating the doubled effect. These double die pennies can be quite obvious when you examine the letters carefully. The doubling may be faint in some cases, but in others, the effect is dramatic, with the letters appearing to be stacked on top of each other. This double die error is extremely rare and significantly increases the value of the 2006 Lincoln penny. Depending on the severity of the error, these coins have been known to fetch prices ranging from a few $100s to well over $1 million. The reason for this astronomical value is simple: the rarity of the error and the high demand among collectors. How to identify a 2006 double die penny? So, how can you tell if you've got one of these valuable 2006 double die pennies? It's all about inspecting the coin closely, particularly the areas with text. Here's what to look for. Examine the word liberty. If you notice that the letters in liberty appear to be doubled, with one set of letters slightly offset from the other, you may have a double-die penny. Check the motto "In God We Trust." The same applies to the motto on the coin. If you see doubling on these letters, that's a strong indication that the coin has a double-die error. Use magnification to spot this error more clearly. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. The doubling is often subtle, and you may need a closer look to fully appreciate the effect. Look for other signs of doubling. In addition to the doubling in the letters, check for other signs that the coin may have been struck incorrectly. A second set of outlines in the design, or a shadow of the design to the side, can all indicate a double-die error. It's worth noting that not every 2006 penny with slight doubling is valuable. The more prominent the doubling, the more valuable the coin will be. Coins in better condition, with minimal wear and tear, are generally worth more than those that are damaged or heavily circulated. Other rare 2006 pennies. While the double-die error is the most well-known and valuable error for the 2006 Lincoln penny, it's not the only type of rare penny from that year. There are other varieties of the 2006 penny that have caught the attention of collectors. For example, some 2006 pennies were struck off-center, meaning the design was not aligned properly during the minting process. This results in a coin that appears to have a portion of the design missing or shifted. These off-center strikes are rare and can be worth several hundred to thousands of dollars, depending on their size and condition. There are also instances of 2006 pennies with die cracks or other imperfections, which can make them more interesting to collectors. While these coins may not fetch millions, they are still considered valuable and sought after by coin enthusiasts. Where to sell a valuable 2006 Lincoln penny? If you think you've found one of these rare 2006 pennies with a valuable error, you're probably wondering how you can sell it. The first step is to get your coin authenticated. Professional grading services like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or a professional coin grading service, PCGS, can evaluate your coin and assign it a grade based on its condition. Authentication will help establish its value and ensure that you get the best price when selling. Once your coin is authenticated and graded, you have several options for selling it. You can visit local coin dealers or auction houses that specialize in rare coins. These dealers will be able to provide you with a fair estimate of your coin's value and may offer to buy it from you directly. Alternatively, online auction platforms like eBay give you access to a global market of buyers. Just be sure to take high-quality photos and provide detailed descriptions to attract serious bidders. If your 2006 penny is a top-tier example of a double-die or other rare error, you could even sell it for a seven-figure sum at a major coin auction. The potential for a life-changing payout is real. Conclusion: to wrap things up, the 2006 Lincoln penny is a perfect example of how seemingly ordinary coins can hold extraordinary value. Whether it's the rare double-die error or another minting flaw, there are certain 2006 pennies that are worth far more than just 1 cent. In fact, some are worth millions. If you have a 2006 penny in your collection or in your change jar, it's definitely worth taking a closer look. With the potential to be worth $1.1 million or more, that small coin could be your ticket to a huge windfall. Thanks for tuning in today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on more exciting coin collecting tips. Happy hunting, and I'll see you in the next video. This script will help create an informative and engaging video about the 2006 Lincoln penny, focusing on its historical significance, valuable errors, and how viewers can identify and profit from them.